Yeah, the fight that we expected because if Manny Pacquiao fought the fight that I thought he was going to fight, then he would have got knocked out because I predicted that he was going to come in, punching, was going to leave himself open or something, and was going to get caught. He came out very cautious. He came out to box Floyd Mayweather. He didn't come out to be aggressive. And the results was what it was, a boring fight because Manny Pacquiao didn't step the pace. It's not up to Floyd to step the pace up. He's not stepping to Manny Pacquiao like that. He's the champ. You got to bring it to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
well, I mean,
Manny Pacquiao disappointed us.
That's the game, and that's what it is. That's the nature of that chess match. That's what comes to it. But I think Floyd. See, the deal is that in that match, Manny becomes the puncher, even though Manny can box at times. But Manny becomes the puncher, and Floyd becomes the boxer. And the boxer will always win against the puncher as long as he can maintain defense. That's just the rule. It's very simple. But he Floyd is getting older, and I've said this in the forum too. If you look at like great boxers, as they get later on in life, the first thing that's going to go is your ability to get out of the way of that punch, because you don't know that you can't get out of the way of the punch until you can't get out of the way of the punch, because that's how you find out. And eventually those dudes can get knocked out, a la Roy Jones. So Floyd is wise to start talking about ending his career. As you can see, he's starting to slow down a little bit because a guy like Manny could eventually get inside and knock him out, just because the athleticism won't be there anymore. But it certainly wasn't this weekend, and I don't see that happening for a couple more years. But
hey guys, hold on, hold on. I want to bring our brother Holip into the fray.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Holip, your mic is live, man.
Hey fellas, how y'all doing?
Peace.
Can you hear me?
What's going on?
Hello, brother. Peace.
Yo, I just wanted to say something. I think that the problem, you got to look at this. It's two different perspectives looking at this fight. You got like the casual fan, who really, what the casual fan wants to see is Gotti versus Ward, two bums who can't box beating the crap out of each other. That's very exciting, but they can't box. They're bums. So the casual fan loves those guys because they go in there and they beat the crap out of each other. They don't have no skill, no technical knowledge, no nothing. Now the boxing fans are the ones who really can appreciate what Floyd is bringing to the table, because I've seen like a fight. One of my favorite Floyd fights was when he fought Marquez. I keep talking about that because both him and Marquez are counterpunchers. So it was a very technical match, but it wasn't a boring match. You know what I'm saying? It's like Floyd wiped out Marquez 12 rounds to nothing. Marquez did not win one round. And it wasn't like Floyd. And this thing about Floyd running, you do not get to be 48-0. But what do they think? He just gets into the ring and just runs? His whole fight is Floyd playing Ring Alivio with his opponent? Come on, man. Floyd has to throw punches and land. He's very accurate with his punches. He hits you and he doesn't waste a lot of punches.
Right.
And he's not in there to go and be a punching bag. If somebody is hitting you and you're in danger, you grab their arms, you do whatever you got to do to stop it so that they don't hurt you. That's boxing. You know what I'm saying? And what makes the fight exciting in a Floyd scenario is when he has an opponent that's aggressive. The reason why people are forgetting, the reason why everybody wanted to see Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather was because of what Manny Pacquiao brought to the table. He was aggressive. He's a high-level puncher. He's so good at punching that he confuses a technical boxer. So people want to see, how would Floyd handle a guy like that? Because Pacquiao walks through people. He knocked Shane on his ass. He beat up De La Hoya. He beat up Ricky Hatton. He was stepping to these guys. So they think, oh, well, damn, can Floyd deal with that dude? We'll never know because that dude is gone. That dude ended up on the canvas when Marquez laid him out. That was the end of Manny Pacquiao. So this fighter that everybody thought was going to see go up against Floyd is never going to happen. They can rematch this for whatever they want to do. It's a done deal. And the bottom line is, Floyd is 48-0. Floyd is the greatest boxer of his generation. Nobody can even raise a hand up to say that that's not true. He beat everybody. Name a person that he did not beat.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody. So that's it, man. The criticism of Floyd is not valid. I'm not even trying to hear it. The dude is the best. Now, we can argue about whether he's the best ever. I mean, that's, to me, that's an unfair comparison because you can't just take somebody in a time machine and put them, in their prime against somebody else in their prime. All you can do is judge them by the competition that they had when they were around. He beat De La Hoya. He beat Hatton. He beat Pacquiao. He beat Marquez. He beat everybody that you put, Shane Moses, everybody that you put in front of him, he beat. And not only did he beat them, he outclassed them. It wasn't even close. So
he's never had a close fight ever?
No, he's had close fight. Like what was the closest fight I think he had? Castillo was probably his toughest fight.
That was definitely his toughest fight.
He beat De La Hoya with no problems.
Right.
He beat Marquez with no problems.
I thought that, I don't know if you guys saw it, I do think that Floyd Mayweather was hurt in that fight at one point. I was getting kind of nervous. I think it was either round 4 or 6 when he was catching some shots. I was like, hold on, Floyd, get off the ropes.
That's if you had somebody.
He felt it. He definitely felt it. But he did what he felt it with Cotto and he felt it with Mosley. He got shook in both of those fights. But he
felt it with Zab also.
Yeah, right. But he got through, and you got to give him his props for that. I mean, you don't have to like him, but you got to give him his respect.
I like a good brawl, just like the next person, but I like a boxing brawl. Like when Barrera fought Morales, those are two technical dudes, and they was going at it. You know what I'm saying? That was like a chess match. Yeah, that was like a chess match there, but it was a high level punching, counter punching. They were going at it, but it wasn't like a bar fight. That doesn't entertain me. Mickey, what's his name? Gotti and Ward, the fights that everybody thought was so fantastic. That stuff is boring to me, man. I don't like it.
I
can see that on Belmont Avenue or something.
You have to remember, I don't know how far back some of you brothers go, but one of my favorite fights was Sugar Ray versus Ray Leonard versus Wilfredo Benitez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite fights also.
That's one of the best ever. And we saw that on TV.
Yeah.
Yes. Free TV, yes. Oh,
like Channel 9.
You guys are showing your age. I love this.
Yeah, man.
Why Wall of Sports?
I am not a young man.
Yeah, and see, people, just like I tried to say this earlier, people wanted to see, and there was a clip of this in the Independent Sports Group. They wanted to see a fight like the first round of Hearns and Hagler.
Yeah, I posted that actually. I didn't say I wanted to see it, but I posted. I posted that round. Yeah, that round.
You posted that? Very good post. Very good post.
That's one of the greatest boxing rounds in the history of boxing. So it's kind of unfair to expect that a fight is going to come close to that. That's like
that wasn't my anticipation.
Matter of fact, I commented that. One of the best first rounds of boxing ever.
That's one of the best fights ever.
You talking about Hearns and Hagler?
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what? Hearns made a mistake fighting like that. That was the mistake. If Hearns would have stayed with his jab, with that long reach, he would have gave Marvin Hagler problems.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hearns really should have kept him on the outside with his reach.
Yeah,
of course.
And this is the thing that I respect about Floyd, because every fight that Floyd is in, he is going to dictate the pace. You are not going to take him out of his game. He's going to do what he does and stick to it. And most of the time, you end up adapting to him.
Yep.
and he beats everybody that way. He's one of the best defensive counterpunching type boxers that I've ever seen.
Of course.
So,
and obviously Manny Pacquiao felt something like all 48 of those guys that they couldn't just rush in and just inflict their will on Floyd Mayweather. If it was that easy, then it would have been done already.
Because that's how Pacquiao fights. When Pacquiao fought Marquez, he was walking through Marquez. He didn't care about his counterpunches.
Right.
It was like Pacquiao had such an aggressive mentality. Like all he would do is go in there and throw a flurry of punches and power punches and take you out of your game because you would have to respond to it. You couldn't just get into your set position and do the classic fighting. And so that's what made him an instant. Yeah, exactly. That's what. But Marquez is, like I said, he's the same style fighter as Floyd, except just not on the same level. He's a defensive counterpunching type fighter. What happened was, and we were joking about it, he's a Mexican fighter. So when Pacquiao challenged him, he's like, "Oh, screw this technical stuff. You trying? I'm a bust your ass." Pacquiao took him out of his game. Yeah. And so instead of him just sitting back, now when the last fight where he actually knocked him out, he did exactly what he should have did the first fight. He sat back, he waited, he timed him, he waited him to come in with that fake right that he always throws before he charges in with his left and caught him right in the middle of it. Boom, sleep. And that's exactly what Floyd would have did had he come the way, but it would have been exciting. It would have at least been exciting. It would have been, and that was my prediction. My prediction was a short, exciting fight because it was going to take maybe a couple of rounds for Floyd to time him right. And if he kept doing the same thing, he would have got knocked out probably about a third or fourth round.
I'm still. The jury is still out on whether or not he would have got knocked out, because you can't. I mean, obviously you're entitled to predict to your own predictions, but I have a hard time following that because I understand the sense in it, but I also know that knockout by Marquez. It took him 36 or however many rounds to get to that point where he could do that. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I mean, it's just not. It wasn't a walk in the park to get to the place where you could knock him out. And I don't think that Floyd would have been able to possibly figure that out straight away. You know, the only thing that possibly could have changed is that Manny could have scored more points. You know, the possibility for Manny to break Floyd down is what's in question. Is he able to do that? Whether or not Floyd could knock out Manny,
I can tell you this. I'll take a calculated guess. If you look at Marquez as a fighter and look at the fights that he fought Pacquiao, it wasn't until that last fight that he actually fought the way that Marquez usually fights. What he did in each of those fights, he got pulled into a brawl by Pacquiao because Pacquiao put pressure on him, and he, instead of reacting like, let me just bear down and technically deal with this dude, he just went to fighting mode. He went to what he naturally...
Right. He got sucked in.
This last fight, he boxed him, and look what happened. And that's... Floyd. It ain't going to take Floyd. Floyd is one of the most adaptive fighters of his time. It's not going to take him 3 fights to figure you out.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's been proven by his. You just look at his record, look at his fight.
Yeah. The second fight would be a lot easier. The second fight with Floyd against anybody, if you give Floyd a second look, it'll be easier.
Yeah, it's like Batman. You don't let Batman get prep time. If you get Batman prep time against the Hulk, Batman's gonna come out on top.
But that's what Batman does is prep.
So let me ask you fellas something. Floyd is talking about the last fight on his contract with Showtime. There's talk of Amir Khan. What do you think about that fight?
I think this is the only logical fight for him, and Amir Khan has a name and something so he can put on his resume as his last fight. As far as him being a threat, he's not really a real threat to him. So it's a fight that on paper they can sell, and he doesn't really have to risk too much in that fight. And it's a good thing that he's doing it in September, because this whole thing about him getting old or getting slow is not really relevant, because he was pretty good in that fight. I mean, he's not the same as he was, but he's not deteriorated, you know what I mean? And I doubt if he's going to deteriorate that much by September. So it's the best fight for him, I think.
I agree with that. I think that's the smartest fight for him.
Oh, I got it.
For the same reasons, you know, Amir Khan has a name already. You know, they'll sell pay-per-views. It's a good business move, you know, and Floyd will win. There's not really much threat that Floyd will lose that fight. And once again, the onus will be on Amir Khan to come in and find a way to handle Floyd, and I just don't see that happening.
Yo, we got a minute and a half left. We're going to go into the overtime. This is In the Paint, the realest show in sports, every Tuesday night. Call in number 347-426-3634. We chopped it up on Floyd and Manny. Tune in next week. We'll have more exciting sports stories for you. Everybody's mic is live. We're going to continue talking more about the fight.
Yeah.
Hearing the armchair. Like the armchair commentators, like, just talk about how Mayweather didn't bring it, or was just running around dancing, as if all the onus was on him to make the fight exciting.
I mean, it kind of was, because he's Money Mayweather. You know, he makes the most money. He does all this stuff. So it's like, yo, why don't you show us why, you know, you are who you are? How did you come?
He did.
He did.
I mean, and I guess it's not enough. It's kind of like the Kardashians, you know. Why are you rich and famous? And then you watch them and you just scratch in your head like, yeah, you make all this money to do this.
That's a bad comparison, because they're not talented at nothing. Lloyd's a talented boxer.
I mean, they're talented at something, because they're getting that money, you know. But he's a talented boxer in the sense that, okay, he has, you know, he has perfected the craft of, you know, scoring his points in the ring and making it.
That's
look
what you're supposed to do.
Right, it makes it look terribly easy. But like in America, which is like, we always want something that makes us go, oh, this is mind-boggling. Right. You know,
yeah, because we were spoiled with Rocky. We were spoiled with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson fights was not exciting. The whole thing with Mike Tyson fights was you go to the bathroom when the fight's over. That's not, who wants to see that?
So, and what happened to Mike when he got into the ring with technical boxers?
Well, usually he lost.
I mean, I just...
And we knew who he was. It was Manny that disappointed us, and no one wants to say that. It was Manny that was supposed to find a way to cut the ring off, force Floyd Mayweather into a confrontation, and he didn't do that. So really, he disappointed us.
I think,
that's what my point was. It's like Pacquiao. People got to go back to before this fight happened, where everybody was talking about, when you going to fight Pacquiao? When you going to fight Pacquiao? That's the reason. Where were the high volume? And I very rarely do I agree with Stephen A. Smith on anything, but he hit it on the nail. He said, where was all of the aggression? Where was the high volume punching? Where was all of the stuff that you expect from Manny Pacquiao present in this fight? It wasn't there. And then it pisses me off that people want to blame Floyd. Who came to the fight? Was the fighter that Floyd was at that fight some new alien creature? Or was it the same Floyd we've seen in all his other fights? The person that didn't come was Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao did not come.
Right.
Didn't adapt.
People who are not like hardcore boxing fans and we watch all the fights, to us, it looked like whenever Manny tried to actually engage Floyd in a fight, because, you know, you come in to watch a fight. Whenever he never engaged Floyd. Well, whenever he never do some flurry. I mean, he engaged him. Come on, it's not
he didn't engage. He didn't. Pacquiao engage him. Pacquiao. When did anybody being a technical boxer ever stop Manny Pacquiao from doing what Manny Pacquiao does?
No.
So now all of a sudden, I mean, if anything, that's like a backhanded compliment to Floyd. You mean Floyd came up with some new shit that neutralized Manny Pacquiao that nobody else could do?
Right, but what I'm saying, like, whenever he did throw a little flurry or whatever, Floyd hugged him. Then it's like, yo, come on.
You can count on your hand the amount of times that happened.
Right, yeah.
What I saw was him eating left jab and getting caught with right lead.
I said Floyd is not a likable guy.
I like him.
There's plenty of guys not likable.
I like him. But I don't see why he's unlikable.
There's plenty of people who aren't likable outside of Bill Parcells isn't likable. I like him as a coach.
Floyd always bigs up his opponent after the fight. Always.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he's a wonderful athlete, you know, and I'm sure he respects his craft and the game and so on and so forth. But, you know, as a human being, I think he's deplorable. And I get it. Knowing his history.
That's a big statement. To say he's deplorable as a human being, that means you have to really know who he is.
Well, from what, you know, from what's out there and what I take away from it, that's what I believe.
Well, that's like saying that Al Pacino is a deplorable person because you saw Scarface.
No, you can watch Scarface and you understand that it's his job to play a role. But then if you
well, that's Floyd Mayweather. What's the difference? Floyd Mayweather, if he was this kind of deplorable guy, he would have took the opportunity to laugh at Manny Pacquiao and tell you, "I told you so." He said, "This man's a great champion. I see why he is who he is." He didn't say nothing negative about Manny Pacquiao at all, as he does to all his opponents. Nothing negative.
I'm talking about boxers and the ring. I'm talking about his history about domestic violence. Also, I seen a video of him. He was getting a haircut, and this woman, he was talking to this woman, and the woman didn't know who he was. And he was, like, astonished that the woman couldn't possibly know who he was. And the woman was just like, "Yeah, I don't know you. I don't care to know you." You know, like, and he just couldn't believe it. And, like, yo, how...
And that makes him a deplorable person?
No, what I think makes him a deplorable person is the fact that he beat his baby's mother in front of the baby. And the kid had to...
You know, you've been dealing with women. You don't think that women is prone to lie and exaggerate to make a point to you? Like you're not giving me attention?
But then it's alleged that he beat other women too. So you think they all got together? You know, if you keep getting accused of the same thing, you know, doesn't it creep into someone's mind like, yo, maybe he's actually guilty of it?
Well, it's alleged that Manny Pacquiao is involved with lady boys. Is that true?
He's involved with lady boys?
Yeah, the Thai lady boys, the sheep tails. Is that Manny Pacquiao a faggot? Is Manny Pacquiao a faggot?
If he is, that's his business.
Oh!
Let me just say this, man. we getting into territory where it's absolutely irrelevant.
Right, but he said
we're getting into irrelevant. Like, I don't understand why Floyd is unlikable. I don't understand why he's the devil. I don't understand why everybody feels like this guy is such a bad guy. Other than just pure, a lot of it, like you said, Floyd is really like Ric Flair. He's like Triple H. You know what I'm saying? He plays the heel role to sell fights. Like I told one of my friends at my job, I said, anybody who knows Floyd knows that Floyd respects Muhammad Ali. So don't you find it odd that right before one of the biggest fights for the past 10, 20 years, he's going to make a statement about Ali, and then what happens? Everybody starts talking about, oh, you ain't as good as Ali. You may be a good boxer, but Ali was a better man. All you're doing is playing into his hands.
Look, that statement is also old, real old.
Yeah.
but they resurrected stuff and
no,
use Floyd. It's
how
like, man,
old was
listen,
that
I don't
Stephen A.
care
Smith interview?
about Floyd's issues with whatever women he has. It has nothing to do with the boxing match.
Okay, that's good. But so why did we persecute Ray Rice?
I didn't persecute him.
No, but I'm saying, why was everybody in an uproar? And even on the show, we had a conversation about...
Well, that was caught on videotape. That was caught on videotape. You never caught Floyd. No, it does matter. It does matter. It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does. It does. And it's what matters.
What you just said was that...
Why it matters. It matters because...
Hold on, y'all can't talk. Hold on, y'all can't talk over one another.
I'm going to tell you... Let me tell you why it matters. When you hear an alleged, like say you stole something, they say you allegedly stole something, but there's no video camera you stealing it, there's still a speculation involved. When I see that you took the thing and put it in your pocket and stole it and walked out the store, now all doubt is removed. With Ray Rice, he hit her, and you saw it yourself. You didn't see what happened between Floyd Mayweather and his wife. You only heard her side of the story. Right. You saw what happened with Ray Rice.
Right, the kid wrote a statement in his handwriting and let somebody forge it, and he basically...
Oh, man, the kids?
What? But what you just said was that what that man does away from the ring is basically his business. So what Ray Rice did away from the football field was technically his business. So technically, we should have never saw the tape. Who he is away from the field has nothing to do with what he does on the field. But that man had a hard time, and he's having a hard time getting signed because everybody saw that, he beat his wife. And then Floyd went to jail for domestic violence.
Kevin, a lot of these guys are doing stuff morally that are wrong. I've been at a Nick party in the late 90s. Drugs, fornication, alcohol. We seen a bunch of giants approach us. Yo, where the hookers at? And these are married men.
Yo, I just don't like the cherry picking. That's what I got a problem with. And I got a problem with this whole concept. I heard people say that Floyd needs to be humbled. Why is it that black men got to be humble? What is that about? Is anybody asking what's that dude, the quarterback from Pittsburgh, who's a scumbag? Is anybody asking him to be humble?
I have to stand and give this man, a standing ovation because he just reached inside my head and took the words right out my brain, man. No, I'm serious. I'm very serious about this. What he said, the first few words of what he said, why are people cherry picking? And that's exactly what they're doing.
I got people, I got in a discussion with a guy at work. I'm like, so now you a domestic violence? You protest with them? Or is it just because Floyd's fighting?
But when you say stuff like that, it makes it all irrelevant. The prior conversation we had when you guys were acting like, hitting a woman was like the lowest thing a man could ever do. So when you brush it off as nothing,
you're making a false comparison, man.
I am not making a false.
Yes, you are, because there's no evidence that Floyd did anything. That's hearsay. There was evidence. We had a videotape that was released to the public where we seeing this dude clocking his fucking girl.
But he went
to jail once
for
it's out there, now we can talk about whether they had a right to do it. I mean, all of that's whatever. But once it's out there and for the public, then it's up for public opinion. I don't think it's a contradiction to talk about it. If there was a videotape of Floyd busting this girl's ass, I guarantee you we'd be talking about it. We wouldn't be sweeping it under the rug. It'll be out there.
I think all people. I think it's in human nature.
See, that's the thing right there. None of these girls have had any pictures.
I mean, I posted an article to the group that basically said Las Vegas basically has these rules where, if you're involved in a case and it's not considered evidence for future cases, you can apply to have that evidence or pictures basically destroyed. And there was like several pictures which Floyd applied to have that stuff basically destroyed. So it can never be shown and whatever. If you have nothing to hide, you didn't do it, why are you going to apply to have that done? And he did serve time for it. Even though it was 90 days or whatever it was, he served time for it.
So then he served his time.
He served his time, but he still did it, you know?
All right. Mike Tyson spoke about Floyd. He called him a despicable man, and we know what Mike Tyson was about, what he was about in the 90s.
Pot calling the kettle black.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He served his time as well for whatever he did, which I think he didn't do anything to that chick, but
anybody that has a woman, anybody that deals with women will know. This woman that will call the cops on you and you didn't do nothing. Now, because they did that, does that mean that you're implicit in some crime? I mean, come on, man. If Floyd Mayweather was a punch on exactly. If Floyd Mayweather was to punch a woman, there should be some type of physical evidence to show that this woman was punched by a professional, one of the best ever in his generation. There's no marks on her? Are you kidding me? Floyd is fighting men in the ring. He fights a girl or a woman, and there's no marks, and I'm supposed to believe her?
But you don't think his power and his influence, people look out for him?
Nope. I think that the media doesn't care.
Naive, you, sir.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. The media doesn't care about your power and your influence.
Right,
the media cares about what is a hot story, and there's no way in hell
but the media
if the media had their hands on information where they can show him in a compromising position, they will do it. Look at how many people got taken down who's multi-rich, multi-millionaires, who had the ability to pay people off. And yet, when you're sitting there with a hot story, that story is going to get released.
And what does that have to do? And what does all this have to do with boxing?
Thank you. Nothing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like I said, it's cherry picking. When it comes to Floyd Mayweather, now all of a sudden his whole life his resume got to be put out there. But when it comes to anybody else, nobody even questions him. Nobody even talks about it. Nobody's going into Manny Pacquiao's lifestyle. I mean, is anybody going into De La Hoya's lifestyle? I mean, De La Hoya got pictures. He got pictures out of him in fucking pantyhose with high heels on. And that's not no alleged. That's not no rumor. These are they out there. And do you hear anything about it? When it comes to him, everything is okay. Oh no, his character is never brought into question. But Floyd got to be fucking Jesus Christ.
I mean, I guess it's all about what you want to focus on. Everybody's entitled to
that. And I just find it odd that they focusing on Floyd and try to because you know why? The dude is a winner. He's one of the best that ever did it. He's 48-0. He has not been defeated. So you got to find some way. People just hate when somebody is good.
Yep.
And it ain't a damn thing. Also, it ain't a damn thing anybody can do about it. Because every guy that y'all brought up against him who was supposed to end his streak got their ass handed to him.
And he's also a powerful figure in boxing behind the scenes.
So it's just continuous. It's like, all right, he ain't that good. Wait till so-and-so get a hold of him. Then when so-and-so get a hold of him and get his ass whooped, then it's like, well, he didn't do it because blah, 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 blah. Nothing is ever because... Yeah, it's like, you know who beat those opponents? It wasn't Floyd. It was the ether. The ether just beat them. It wasn't Floyd. Floyd didn't have nothing to do with it.
48 excuses. That's what it is, 48 excuses. If you look at the variable between all those 48 people, it's Floyd Mayweather. Isn't it interesting? He's the only variable in all those losses. Yeah, he's the variable in all those losses. It's the same guy you fight. Maybe this guy is the anomaly.
Yo, Holip, I gotta send you. Paulie Malagini said Manny is full of shit with the shoulder injury.
I don't like the morality thing because Manny Pacquiao, because none of us could sit on a moral high horse and pretend that I'm holier than thou. Manny Pacquiao got his own demons. He lied about the steroids. He lied about the children on the side. He lied about the lady boys. He lied about the gambling, the drink, the smoking weed. Yeah, the smoking weed, the alcohol. So don't make Manny Pacquiao to be fake Manny.
That's why.
If you put anybody under a microscope, man, if you put anybody's life under a microscope, you're going to find a way to demonize that person.
Kevin,
My thing is, the reason why we're talking. Hold on, Mark. The reason why we're talking about this in the first place is because he's undefeated. So you can't talk about him in the ring. So now, how are you going to defeat him? You're going to defeat him outside of the ring. You got to find a way to put a loss on this dude somehow because you can't get no boxer to do it.